I know you sound so angry, man.
I'm not at all. I'm not at.
I didn't mean to waste your time.
I'm not.
I thought it was a good show.
Fuck. I'm not at all angry. Some of the frustration is about the problems with the phone line and the fact that evidently people can't hear when we're talking. What I'm frustrated with is that I asked questions and I got no answers. I mean, you say that you believe.
Man, I base it on peripheral.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, see, that's what you're not
That
explaining.
is not an argument. That is not an argument. It's not an explanation. It's barely a response.
Yeah, it's this vague term that has no clear definition.
You told me that you have been to a particular place, okay? And I hope to go to that place someday too. I'm putting my ducks in a row, as it were, to try and get to going to that place.
What place?
What place are you talking about?
Can you speak in specifics instead of this vagaries?
Let's say, for instance, what Buddha might have talked about, or what Lao Tzu might have talked about, or Jesus might have talked about a particular state or a particular goal. Okay, when they put these ideas out there, what they're doing for the student is saying, okay, I'm acting as a signpost and I'm pointing you in a direction. So you're trying to move towards a state of consciousness. That's what I'm talking about. It's based upon what these peripheral teachers who have come before me have laid out as signposts and pointed in a direction for humanity to move towards. That's the most succinct way that I could put it.
What the hell makes you...
An example of Jesus or an example of Buddha, okay, I'll use those examples. But for me, there's signposts pointing in a direction that humanity or the individual human is supposed to move towards, if I'm going to use the term, to become enlightened someday.
Okay.
And it's an active process, and it's a daily process. It's something that you do.
Okay. So you're seeking a form of enlightenment. We got it.
What makes you think that this is true or worthy of seeking? Because right now, what you're telling me is that you have this hope that maybe these guys were talking about something real, and therefore you're going to do what you can do to try to achieve this thing that you can't demonstrate is real, and that this is justification for your belief in God. Do you not see how flawed that thinking is?
No.
All right, then.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling anyway, Mark. We appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
I hope there's a God, so I believe there's a God.
Yeah.
If you can't spot the fallacy in there, no wonder you can't see the false beliefs.
I understand. People have sought enlightenment in one form or another for all the millennia.
I'm fine with enlightenment about reality.
Yeah. Just understand what you're doing and why you're doing it, and have good reasons for it.
Yeah. This reminds me of the.
And Mark, and we weren't like trying to be dicks to you, Mark. Understand? We weren't yelling at you or being angry. We're trying to, like you said in your original question, about making Christians think about and understand what it is they believe. That's exactly what we were just trying to do with you.
Yeah.
That's what we were trying to get at. That's all. It wasn't personal, so don't take it that way.
It's this fascination people have with
the transcendent,
contemplatives and metaphysics and but maybe there is something. Maybe it's not heaven like Jesus talked about it, but maybe it's some grander state, and maybe when I die, my consciousness can go off and explore the universe. And it's nonsense. It's woo. There's no reason to. Now, maybe it is true. I'm not here to say that it's false, but if you're going to say that this is what's governing your decisions and your beliefs, sure would be useful to find out if it's actually true. And I'm not opposed to exploring those things.
I've always just thought it was more sensible to think, all right, we've maybe got, if we maintain our health and live good lives, 70, 75 years on average.
Yeah.
So, make that time, instead of spending all of that time, wishing for whatever version of a pie in the sky that you're hoping will come at some point, make this life, make that very brief time the best life it can be. That's always seemed to be a much better approach to enlightenment, in my estimation.
It also bothers me that, in this day and age, granted we don't know everything about the brain, but we're learning so much about the brain.
Yeah.
And this idea of an afterlife is at this point pretty much a dead issue. We know
not to the Templeton Foundation, who just gave somebody $5 million. It's just imagine having that kind of money to piss away on frivolities. It's like, $5 million to study life after death. Now, how exactly do you study life after death?
I don't know.
Wheel a bunch of cadavers in the room and be like, all right, so...
They could have given me the money, and I could have saved them a lot of time, because what we already know about the brain and identity is enough to know that nothing that makes me is going to survive my death in any meaningful sense.
I would have done it for $1 million. I would have saved them $4 million, given them just as factual.
We don't want science going to the lowest bidder.
Oh.
I mean, I'll take the $5 million, and I'll investigate claims of the afterlife.
All right.
Atheists do not have faith, and reason alone could not propel one to total conviction that anything definitely does not exist.